Hey there, friend. What nail color are you wearing right now? I'm asking because with so many things swirling in our world, it's easy to feel thrown off, unsteady, and confused. It's easy to forget who you really are and how you want to grow. Something as simple as your nail color is ready to help you remember who you are, what you want, and cheer you on. And I have some smile inducing nail color stories from real women to prove it. Before we get started, I highly recommend you take my quick quiz to identify your nail color persona and what your persona says about you. Yes, even if you have naked nails, all you have to do is go to mynailcolorpersona.com, answer 3 quick questions, and immediately get your results with your specific nail color persona, your built in strengths, and how to tap into those strengths when chip happens. Again, go to mynailcolorpersona.com. Now, on to today's episode.
Tired of so much chip happening? Discouraged by so much downer news? Weary from chronic crisis? Don't let the chips keep you down. Welcome to the Live Like Your Nail Color podcast, where the tips of your fingers and toes are ready to inspire you to not give up and to keep creating the business, career, and life you want. In each episode, we flip the chip and let our fun nail color with that crazy fun name cheer us on to remember our strengths, embrace the power of choice, see life as an adventure, and know resilience is only a touch-up or change-up away. Get ready for a good time and a good laugh with your host, Mary Foley.
Welcome back, my nail color gals. Before we get started, I have a quick confession. Last week in episode 20, I kind of gushed over the amazing storytelling of my gal pal, Jill Baughan. I mean, she's so good at it. You can hear for yourself by listening to her podcast, Find Joy No Matter What. She reminded me that over the years, women have shared with me fun, unexpected, and inspiring nail color stories that truly made a difference in their lives. I thought, hey, it's about time I share a few on this podcast because you can create similar stories of your own to cheer you on. But first, it's helpful to take a moment to realize that even though women have been coloring their nails for a long time, it hasn't always been easy or fun as it is today. The Chinese started experimenting with nail polish around 3000 BC using a concoction of beeswax, gelatin, and gum. Orchid and rose petals were used to create colors ranging from pink to red, but it had to be on your nails for a few hours or overnight to work. Talk about waiting for your nail color to dry. Then, around 600 BC, the Chow dynasty preferred gold and silver nails, but only for the upper class. If anyone from the lower class attempted to wear nail polish, they could be punished by death. I'm sure if they named their nail colors back then, the silver polish would be called Color to Die For, and the gold polish would be called You Bet Your Life. Then the Egyptian upper class used nail polish to signify money and prosperity. Cleopatra, the original beauty queen, apparently favored a deep rust red color. Women of lower stature were permitted to wear only pale hues, but hey, they at least could live. The big break for nail polish, and thus all women, came in 1925 when a totally new composition of nail polish based on automobile paint was invented. Nail polish immediately became easier to produce, easier to apply, and could be created in a whole bunch of colors. Fast forward to today, and we have nail color options galore. Now, the challenge is picking a color or a design with a great name among all these fab options. So take a look at your nails right now. What nail color are you wearing and what does it say about you? And is it cheering you on? Well, many women I meet have a French manicure. These women are usually classy, sophisticated, and incredibly practical. With just a touch of white on the nail tip, a French manicure makes your nails look finished and goes with any outfit. As one gal told me, a French manicure is like diamonds. It goes with everything. But being practical doesn't mean being boring. In fact, one afternoon I was getting my nails done along with my friend Alice, who decided to get a French manicure. When it came time for the white polish, I naively thought that the nail tech would simply pull out a bottle labeled white. Oh no. Instead, Alice walked over to a wall. Yes, wall of white polishes. Bright white, off-white, creamy white, pinkish white, bluish white, purplish white, brownish white, kind of white, sort of white, not quite white, you name it white. Whatever shade of white you wanted, or frankly another color, I'm sure it was there. To my delight, Alice picked a white color called white limousine. I immediately thought of her dressed in a smart business suit with a French manicure riding in a white limousine that pulls up into the front of a swanky restaurant. The driver opens the limo door and she confidently walks into the restaurant to make the deal. All that because the polish wasn't just white. It was white limousine. Yeah, that's the power of your nail color at the tips of your fingers and toes. Another day, I got an email from a gal, Joanne, and it started like this. Okay, Mary, you have worn me down. I was like, oops, I'm a little concerned here. I mean, I didn't mean to wear her down. I didn't. So I kept reading. She wrote, I didn't know if I was living my nail color. But then I went and I looked at the name of every bottle I could find. And there it was. The name, a True Aboriginal. I think that describes me so well because I'm different. My accent is different and my cultural background is different, but I am true to who I am. I am living like a true Aboriginal. Joanne really is a true original. She hails from South Africa and now lives in the southern United States. Her British-infused accent definitely stands out, and her cultural background gives her a wonderful, fresh perspective as an image consultant. But before Joanne could be inspired by the nail color a true Aboriginal, she had to do two simple things. First, she had to take time out of her Wonder Woman busy schedule to consider which nail color really spoke to her. It only took a few minutes, but it did take a few minutes to find the perfect color that playfully reminded her of her true, authentic self. Second, she put aside any negative feelings about being different. In fact, thank goodness Joanne is different. What fun would it be if we were all the same? Clearly, no fun at all. So there you go. Your nail color can remind you who you really are and feel great about it. I figure since you're listening to this podcast that you're already pretty great. But you, me, and every other gal needs to be reminded again and again. Not because we're stupid or weak, but because this crazy world has a way of wearing us down and causing us to forget. You true, though, are an original. You're an Aboriginal, even. Like another gal, Deborah, who was interviewing for a new job. Here's what she told me. She said, I already had one interview, and after sending the usual follow-up and thank you email, I received a response that made me believe I didn't get the job. However, I was still scheduled for a second interview, so I went. It was the morning of the second interview, and while I thought it was pointless, I didn't get time to paint my nails the night before. I was going to do it when I got to the office, but I forgot my polish. Ugh. I asked a buddy if she had any with her, and she did. It was a hot pink called Tutti Frutti. I was dressed quite conservatively in a navy blue suit and thought, this color's a little too wild to wear for an interview. But since the interview is pointless, I decided why not. I painted my nails and remember thinking, oh, this is a really fun color. Because I didn't think I had the job, I was feeling a bit more tutti frutti and relaxed. My answers came more naturally. I even said some things I probably wouldn't have said if I didn't think I was already out of the running for the new role. A few days later, I got the job. The thing that impressed the interviewer was that I wasn't afraid to step out of the traditional answers. My friend and I joke to this day about wearing tutti frutti to any big important event, be it business or personal. Don't you just love that story? I can just see Deborah sitting there during her interview, glancing down at her hot pink fingertips, smiling to herself. Being her tutti frutti self was key to answering the interview questions that landed her the job. That's the power of being your true you. and being brave enough to be your Tutti Frutti. And then there's Julene. Nearly every woman I've met, including myself, has felt like Julene at one point or another, feeling worn out, unenthused, and lifeless. What's impressive is the simple but powerful action she took because she wanted to feel differently. She told me, I'm taking the little bit of downtime I have to reevaluate where I want to go before I get caught into the same ruts and routines of the last couple of years. Okay, pause for a second. You see, after years of working tirelessly, raising children and volunteering, Julene was a middle-aged Wonder Woman wondering what the heck had happened to her life. It wasn't psychologically easy to hit the pause button on the treadmill of her life. In fact, at first it felt odd and a bit scary. But she kept remembering that her old routine wasn't working and that she wanted to figure out another way. After a few weeks, she gave me an update. Here's what she said. I love every day and thank myself for making me a priority. It's very positive, refreshing, and revealing. Wow, I just might finally learn to play the guitar after all. And you know the nail color she told me she was wearing during this time? It was named True to Be You. I love Julene's story because she did one of the bravest, most powerful things we can all do when our lives feel like a swirl. Stop and reevaluate. Stop? I know. Julene is such a radical, isn't she? In today's fast-paced modern world, most of us believe we don't have the time to stop and reflect. There are jobs to go to, client meetings to attend, tasks to complete, children who need our attention, phone calls to return, groceries to buy, bills to pay, pets to walk, and plants to water. That's today. More is coming tomorrow. But how can you know what you want and figure out a new plan if you never get yourself off your own treadmill? You can't. Somehow, some way, you've got to carve out some space to just be. When you do, it's amazing how much you can get back in touch with who you are and how you want to go and grow. Maybe it's guitar lessons or a salsa class or a day trip to part of the city or countryside that you've always been curious about. Maybe it's moving or changing jobs or simply taking time to be still. Regardless, you can wear a nail color like True to Be You to cheer you on. These are just 3 nail color stories that I hope made you smile. Because with so many things swirling in our world, it's easy to feel thrown off, unsteady, and confused. It's easy to forget who you really are and how you want to grow. Something as simple as your nail color is ready to help you remember who you are, what you want, and cheer you on. In a world of over 7 billion people, there is no one on the planet who has the exact combination of appealing personality, quirky family, hometown stories, assorted education, changing hair color, interesting friends, tough times, curious pursuits, or life experiences. No one. It's insane not to be yourself. Nobody's better at being you than you. Or as a t-shirt one day I saw, profoundly professed, remember you're unique, just like everybody else. Staying energized about life requires consistent effort, but it doesn't have to feel hard. You can lighten your load and put some fun into your efforts with a simple nail color on your fingers or toes that you can take wherever you go. Here's to living like your nail color. This is what I call the Flip the Chip segment, where I highlight one thing from today's episode that you can do to flip a challenging situation into a more positive one. Today was all about remembering who you are, what you want, and letting your nail color cheer you on. So my suggestion to flip the chip is simple. Put on some new, fresh nail color and give it a name that inspires you right now. In this time in your life, use it to remember your strengths and to live your true self. And if you're not quite sure or simply want some fun inspiration about your strengths, take my nail color persona quiz at mynailcolorpersona.com. Your results will remind you of your built-in strengths that are waiting to be rekindled and to inspire you, no matter when chip happens. Look forward to being with you next time on the Live Like Your Nail Color podcast.
Thanks for listening to the Live Like Your Nail Color podcast. Ready to live and laugh more? Know a friend who could use some of that too? Then subscribe at livelikeyournailcolor.com or your favorite podcast app and share this episode right now with the person who popped into your mind. Together, let's flip the chip to be stronger, smarter, and happier.